Hey everybody, Shell Brodnax here with another episode of Stager Talk, and I'm super excited today because I have a special guest that's going to talk about logistics at RESACON, Melanie Haselmayr. How are you?
Good. I'm good, Shell. How are you?
I'm really great. I am super excited for your session because your actual topic title is called Streamline Your Staging Logistics and Implement this Simple Process in Less Than a Day. So this is one of those sessions, people, that if you've never been to RESACON, where, the sessions that we have the influencers teach at RESACON is something that you can really implement, that you can really take it away. It's not just theory. They're going to give you facts and figures and processes on how to do this. So I know with your session, it's all about the logistics. So if somebody has either an in-house team or if they're outsourcing it, and this is what I really loved about your session, was that you're going to talk about, regardless if you outsource or you have the team, these are systems that are going to be able to work for you.
Exactly, Shell. So in essence, what I'm trying to bring to the table is a very simple process. You'll be stunned how easy it is. Sometimes the easier things are hardest to learn or to implement because it's the hardest part to make it simple, right? This is so simple that any stager in any kind of configuration is going to be able to use that and really make logistics something that just happens in the background that they don't have to worry about anymore.
Yeah, I know a lot of people view it as a nightmare, and that in reality, if you have some, again, process and systems, it's a big words in the staging community are systems. When you have those systems down, like you said, it just runs, it's just an automatic and it doesn't have to be dramatic. It just is what it is and everything kind of falls into place.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly how it is. Processes build a certain, how can I put it? Processes allow you to be more efficient, allow you to do more business and actually focus on your clients and on the stagings itself, because the rest has been figured out and there's no irrelevant questions that come your way that you'd have to answer for your team or for any outsourced party to be able to deliver your projects. So it's really, really valuable to have systems, not just in logistics. I think everything can be made into a system, right? Your sales process can be a system. Your design can be a system. Your inventory management is a system. It should be. I meet stagers all the time that say they don't have an inventory management system. And I know it can work because I also did it that way in the beginning, but it is so much easier when you know what you have and where it is at all times. Also, when you get inquiries from clients and asking, can we buy everything or can we buy certain things, right? If you have that at your fingertips and you know where it is, it's just a completely different game. So systems is definitely, I think, the way to go. And I hope that I'll be able to help with the logistics part in this RESACON. Maybe I can teach a next topic next year.
There you go. I like those ideas. Here's the thing with systems too. And when you're even talking about logistics, because I know you had said in your write-up, you made a reference in the write-up that you can now focus on the things that you really want to do, whether that be because there are some stagers that are really the creatives, and so they don't necessarily have a natural propensity towards these types of skills, which your session is going to really come in handy for them because they can learn that, and whether they do it themselves or again they delegate it to another person in their team to actually do the implementation, but they still need to know it, understand it, have an appreciation for how it all kind of works together, or that frees them up to do more staging, or it frees them up to do more of the sales. So no matter which part of the business that you're more attracted to, having these types of systems in place is really going to help you. The other thing is with logistics, are you going to talk at all about, the pros and cons of like buying a moving truck versus renting the truck or outsourcing it, anything like that you're going to be able to give some people some tips on?
I can definitely, because I've done it all. I have outsourced that part. I have my own equipment as well. So I can definitely give insight on what might work. It always depends on the market, right? Different markets have different requirements. Like, for example, in our market, we have several communities or private islands that don't accept a truck that's larger than 18 feet. So if those are places that you would often go to and have a project at, it doesn't make sense to buy a 26-footer because then you'll still have to get a separate truck every time you go there, right? So these little intricacies that you learn as you go. that I wish I had known before I bought the 26 footer, frankly said, is things that you learn by doing, or you listen to somebody who's done it like me, and maybe you don't have to make the same mistake, you see.
This is what I love about these sessions at RESACON, is because this is definitely a theme that's coming through, because we have a lot of great speakers. And what I keep telling everybody is that these wonderful influencers in our industry, such as yourself, when we're talking about these things, they didn't just wake up one day and say, hey, I'm going to be a stager and everything's perfect. I'm just going to wiggle my nose and it all falls into place. It doesn't fall into place. It all falls on the ground and then they build it back up is the thing. So it's like something like that is something that the average person is never going to think about, of having to consider that. But can you imagine if somebody made the investment in a 26 foot truck and they went out and they financed it, they put the down payment on it, all of that, and then they can't go to 90% of their jobs in it because it wasn't a consideration.
It's crazy, right? Yeah. So these are definitely like real life examples that will come up. I looked through the list of speakers myself, and every influencer that is going to be there as well and talking about different things. And I'm like, wow, Melanie, you managed to pick the most boring of subjects, because everybody talks about the brand and about the design and all, like how to market and this and that. And here I am going to be talking about the driest of it all. But hopefully I can really transport the message and be able to tell people how simple it is and how that really is not an issue anymore. Like, give you an example, right? In my operation, we've been around for 5 years. And I remember the reason what triggered me to create Patricia, which is an acronym, and that's what I'm going to be teaching. For me to create Patricia was the same old questions coming around on our team chat whenever there was a project going out, right? What's the address again? How do we get access to the property? Like things that like need to be centralized somewhere, right? And I was thinking to myself, but is it not possible that there is a way to like just make this go away so that we don't have to all think about what's the address of the property that we need to go to? So having taken all these messages that were flying around, I think I've created something. So this is actually something that I've come up with in-house. It's a process that we've built and we use it daily in our operation. And it has calmed down the team chat. Now we're talking about only the things that actually matter and that need decisions to be made, because those are details that we have already saved somewhere. We're gathering them together. Everybody has access to them and there's no more useless messages flying around. So it's really, really, really great.
I love that, because here's the thing. Somebody can look at this and say, oh, it's logistics, it's dry. No, it's logistics. It's going to make you money. It's going to make you money. It's going to make your life easier. A lot of times as entrepreneurs, we spend a lot of time circulating around problems, and we're not even coming up with the solution or identifying that it's a problem. You know it's a problem, but you don't know you're not thinking that, hey, this is a repetitive problem, I need to fix this. And they go on way too long in that mode of not recognizing, hey, this is actually something that can be solved and we can find a really great solution. Because I can only imagine how frustrating that is, not just as a business owner, but even for the team members as well, because if they're asking, they don't know. And there might be frustrating that they're not having information at their fingertips. Nobody likes to ask the questions. So having those systems in place to combat all of that just seems like a win-win to me.
It absolutely is. I know it has changed my operation so much. Like it's not the same as it was. And also in my business, whenever a situation comes up twice, I make a process out of it. I just, I think about, okay, this is something that happened again. Okay, well, how can we create a new way of doing things? Or how can we resolve this so that it doesn't happen again? And that's how Patricia came about. So good thing I don't have an actual team member that's called Patricia so that it's not confusing. I hope.
Can you tell everybody, go over what the acronym means? Just the first word of everything?
Yes. So Patricia stands for project manager, address, team, reservation, insurance, contact, installation meeting, and access. And we're going to be going through everything in the session. I'll go into every single letter so you'll see what it means and why it's there. But I'm guaranteeing, I mean, in my operation, I would love to hear from the audience then in the Q&A session if there's any other things that they usually need for their installations and their logistics when they plan going out, and either to stagings or destagings. But for us, it covers everything. So I hope it's going to be the same for the attendees.
So how much of this is more process versus technology, or what type of technology is required to implement, Patricia?
Very good question. And the answer is literally one that you already have, or if you don't have it, it's something that you'll need regardless, and it's your calendar. You can live on your calendar, and that way you don't need another tool, you don't need another subscription, you don't need another expense. You don't need to learn something new, but your calendar becomes your logistics management tool, and it's easy, quick, and always accessible from your phone, from your computer, and that's why we chose it to be this way.
Oh, I love it. So it could be any calendar even. It could be a Google Calendar, an Outlook calendar,
Yeah, we run on Google. So we have a Google workspace, and that comes with a certain set of benefits, and I'll be able to go into that also a little bit in more detail in the session itself. It works with any calendar. So, there's really no limit to that.
And so it's really easy to learn for everybody then, because you said they're going to be able to walk away and go right back to work and implement it with their team.
Less than a day, I promise.
I love it. I love it when things are really easy to be able to make happen. So tell everybody, how long have you been in business?
2018. So it's 5 years about.
Very good. Good. I love it. And Melanie's in the Miami, Florida area, for those of you who don't know. And her company is called Curated. So check her out online. Any final words before we wrap up? I know RESACON it's here. This is what we're all about, RESACON. So we got to get everybody to RESACON to check out this particular session. What are you excited about RESACON for?
I love to connect with others and see what they are, how their business works and the markets that they're in, because it's such a peculiar industry. It's really in our market here. It's still very new. It's not, even though we have such a, well-known high-end luxury market with lots of multi-million-dollar properties, we do not have the knowledge in the market about staging like LA or New York does. So there isn't any automatic, a property over $1 million or $2 million has to be staged here. It's not the case. A lot of education needs to happen. So I'm always excited to learn how that works in other markets and how other stagers overcome this particular challenge, at least in my case. And I'm, excited about that. And of course, to also attend other sessions and learn something new.
Yeah, for sure. One of the things that I love about RESACON is obviously the sessions are amazing and everybody's going to get so much out of them. But in addition to that, a lot of the problem solvings not only going to come from the sessions that you sit in, but the conversations that you have. I mean, it is life-changing. We go back to 2009, which was our very first RESACON. There are people that have come to every single RESACON since then. And it's a good number of people, not just like one or two. It's a good chunk of people. And these people also form these lifelong friendships. And so no matter whether you're in Miami or you're in the San Francisco Bay Area or you're, middle America, you can connect with other people. And even though the markets are different, sharing the information from market to market, because then you might try something that was done in Dallas, Texas, even though it's a completely different market. And guess what? Surprise, it works.
Right.
It
Absolutely.
works. I think people get too much into their own weeds and thinking, oh, this is different. One thing I definitely know from being in the industry 21 years is that all stagers think their market is different. Our market's different. Our market's different. Our market's different. But then when you start actually looking at the solutions, they all seem to really translate well, no matter where it is that you go. So that's a great thing to be able to go to RESACON and get so many different opinions on things, because you might be at a table with somebody who's from Minneapolis and someone else is from Oakland, California, and you learn a little bit of both what they do. And then you kind of merge the two together. And now you've got something for your neck of the woods, and it works.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yep. I love it. Absolutely. Well, I am so glad that you were able to join me today. And I know everybody's excited to check out your session because logistics is super important. And it's one of those things that It's all about keeping the business organized, and the better that you can make your business be more organized, it's like a well-oiled machine. It's just a chain that just a cog that just keeps on moving. And when you have a little bump in that, when you have those problems, those are the ones that you want to fix quickly so you can get that smooth sailing and smooth running again. So Melanie, thank you so much for joining me today. For everybody else, this was another episode of Stager Talk. If you're on the fence about getting to RESACON, I'm going to say it again. You're never going to hear me stop saying it. Jump off that fence, run to your computer, don't walk, go to resaconvention.com. Get your ticket today before prices go up in July. Until next time, happy staging.